Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Tell Me Something Good. This is my planting a flag in the sand and saying I'm not buying into all the negative bullshit that's going on. I want to be around people who inspire me, who have good news, who share good stories. And I can't think of a better guest than my friend Greg Centineo. He and I have known each other for a while. We have had some unbelievable sessions of listening, learning, and developing. I love you, bro. I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to the show. And now's your opportunity to tell us something good.
Well, thanks, man. It's really great to be here with you. Thanks for the invite, and always great seeing you, whether in person or on these digital platforms. I'll tell you something good. I mean, the moon's still orbiting around the Earth. It's not heading for Texas. I mean, everybody relax. Everybody relax. Okay, the sun's rising and setting. The oceans still have their borders and boundaries, and good news is the entire world has recess right now. Is in the yard playing completely, and that's the first time in recorded history that's ever happened. So it's all good, man. It's all good. That's how I'm viewing it, man. You know.
As a career serial entrepreneur, you've been involved in lots of ups and lots of downs. You know, what's your, and I know we've spoken about it, but what's your secret sauce about dealing with adversity? Because there are people that, because of all of this stuff, are dealing with adversity. What would you say to them that's some good news or good advice about coming out on the other end?
Yeah, I mean, every one of us has our own perspective, right? And we have our own reality at the same time. I can't speak for Compton in LA. I don't know what that reality is like, right? I can speak to my reality, and my reality is probably, it can be simulated to others around me. I mean, look, this is there's a serious situation going on right now that I believe is being handled by global leaders and governments incredibly well. And instead of millions of people dead, we have hundreds of thousands of people. I'm sorry, yeah, I just went blank on the death rate, but not millions of people.
Doesn't matter, right?
Yeah,
I know where you're going with it, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, and in reality, again, not minimizing that, it's a serious situation, and obviously because the world has basically went on recess, and that's the first time in history.
I like that. I like that a lot.
It's recess, man.
I mean, that vernacular, that just saying to yourself, hey, listen, it is what it is. The merry-go-round stopped for a little while. Yeah. And you and I both travel like nuts. I mean, your family is based in LA. Yeah. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about who you are, what you've done, what your family has done, which is pretty amazing. So why don't you just educate us a little bit about that?
Yeah, man. I mean, I hate the term, you and I classified as serial entrepreneurs. I mean, I hate that term because I don't know what really defines me, but I pretty much do what I want to do in life with who I want to do it. And I've kind of lived that way. Not lucky. I've designed it that way. And I've been doing that for almost 30 years now of my life. And it's led me to some pretty interesting experiences and projects and opportunities for 30 years or more. So I'm involved in anything that I feel like I want to be involved with, and anything new I want to try, whether it's, you know, being an inspirational influencer, as well as the other things that I do it. My family is kind of, I'm not surprised my kids do the same thing. So all of them. So from my two kids to Julie's 4, the influence that we've had around them for the past 25, 30 years has really sparked them to do the same thing, live their dreams, not just live that dream, but help to create that dream and make it a reality. And then a balanced perspective about life. Like, don't take yourself too serious. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Seriously, it's like, I said, look, I'm on the same globe you're on. We're on the same cruise liner. I don't have any great idea. You know, I have different perspectives, and it might make sense if it does good. But don't take ourselves too seriously, man. Just go out there and enjoy life, enjoy this world, be kind to others, inspire others while you do your thing. And you can't do your thing without others anyway. So it's kind of this formula that's worked for me for most of my life.
I know when we first met, and correct me if I'm wrong, it was in the boxing gym. Were we in like a boxing class together?
In Palm Beach.
And someone said we should meet. And I'm a firm believer that people give off energy and that energy connects.
Yeah.
And when you and I met, it was like, you know, unbelievable. I think the second time we met was like there was some guy playing the trombone on a bar. It was,
you know what's great about that story? I mean, this is great for everybody out there, just so you know how how social media really affects life and brings people together. Everyone thinks social media, breaks people apart. It actually brings people together. Yeah,
I believe that for sure.
Oh yeah, both of us are just huge believers in that and practice that and take advantage of that. It's the greatest networking tool in the entire history of the universe. I think I haven't been outside of the earth, but I think that universe. I'll throw it in there.
If anybody would be outside of the earth, it would be you, though. I would bet. I would put money down. Yes, he's leaving the earth.
Sometimes I wonder too, bro. I'll be honest with you, but it's great because we kind of never. I think we were in one class together, but there was an energy. We just kind of addressed each other, casually. Hi, but. And then somebody had said, "Man, you guys really should meet." And that was it. But then I serendipitously kind of crossed your digital path on social media.
Cool, man.
And watched him and looked into. I thought this guy is really cool. And I said to Jules, "I got to meet this guy, man. I like this something about him. I don't know what it is." And I think everybody feels that way about you, man. It's like,
thank you, man. It's really nice.
Got that magnetic personality. It's honest. I got to meet this guy. And then we just started kind of DMing, I think.
Right.
And then I was in the Avocado Grill one Sunday with Mr. Trombone.
That's right. That's right.
And I posted it, and you were like 50 feet away from it, and you went, "Oh, he's in Avocado," and you jumped into Avocado, and we met.
Wow. I didn't realize that there was a social media side to that, but that's exactly why social media works. Yeah. And if you use it properly, it does bring people together. I can tell you that, everybody thinks, "Oh my God, you've had a straight path to success." When you came into my life, it was a really cool time for me because there weren't a lot of people who were where I was thinking. And you and I had some unbelievable dialogue about possibilities like your project with the Wizard of Oz was completely, like I was enamored by it. I was like, wow, man, vision, he followed it through. And so, when people say you are the average of the 5 people that you're hanging out with, you came into my life at such an amazing time that, I don't think people give credit to that. Like how else in the world would we have met?
Yeah, it's amazing. There is this governing force in the universe that has its will in our lives, whether we recognize it or not. It's there. And then it's what we do, to follow that, you know what I mean? And to follow the prompts and so forth. And yeah, I think, what's remarkable about you, and I don't know if the audience really dives deep into you and knows, but you're a guy who's reinvented himself over the course of your lifetime, but especially now, as we get older, right? Like, we're not young guys anymore. I think I am until I see myself on video and I go,
6-0, baby. He's coming up, baby.
Gosh, it's like, what the hell happened, man? But, we're not young guys and, but we continually choose. And this is what's important, right? Like, that's why I don't like titles, but, we choose to live a certain way throughout the course of our lives. And there are certain things that change over the course of our lives, but there are certain things that don't. And that's that hunger for pioneering. That's that hunger to evolve. That's the hunger to continually explore and become something that we aren't yet. And that's when we kind of collided, and we were
it was right happening.
Yeah. And watching you on social media, right? You look like you've been doing it for 50 years. Everyone says, "Oh, it's easy for him." Dude, right? We started this 3-4 years ago. We didn't know what we were doing, and we're older, and we're petrified, going, "How do you do this? What is this? How does this work?" And what do you? I remember some guy telling me 4 years ago, "Yeah, what you do is just walk." He's a young guy, he's like in 28, going, "Yeah, just walk down the beach. When you walk on the beach, just put your phone on, and go ahead and just do an Instagram story. Just go ahead and get a phone." That's what. Just do that. Yeah. What do you mean?
Why would I do that? That seems ridiculous.
Right? How do you do that? What do you mean? Just do that? That was a huge chasm for me to jump over. And now you and I make it look easy, but it was so hard, right, for us in the beginning, so difficult for us to make these leaps and these amazing jumps through these chasms, because fear, right? Almost paralyzing fear was saturating for us. And we had to still we had to become really brave and really do it because of the bravery and jump. So, you know, that's when we met. We both met at this time where we said, man, we got to figure out.
Which is not an accident, was not an accident. I totally believe that that's what the universe does if you open yourself up to say, all right, you know, I need to speak to somebody that's not in my day-to-day life, that's going to zoom in. And, you know, what's interesting is that, you know, I'm fortunate. I get great feedback. People say, oh my God, you're like the most positive guy. You're unbelievable. You do this, you do that. They don't see under the covers when I'm a human being and I'm like going, I need somebody to feed me. You know, who's going to feed me? Who's going to help me? Who's going to answer some questions? And I will tell you that in my whole career, I've been really blessed that the right people have landed on my plate. And to your point, I took advantage of them. I pulled them in and said, hey, listen, ego aside, I'm not really sure what the fuck I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I just know I want to get there, but I don't know how to get there. Yeah. And you had a really cool confidence about it. You didn't really know much more than me. But you just had a cool confidence, which, you know, when you think about it in today's what's going on around, no one knows what the hell's going on right now.
No.
You don't know who to believe or what's going on. You know, there are all kinds of different agendas. The media has their agenda. They want to keep people scared. You know, Michelle and I talk about that all the time, whether it's a pandemic or not. They want people fearful because people that are acting out of fear could be herded like sheep. You and I were never like that. So it's fascinating.
I love that you bring that up. You know, it's my piece of advice for anybody, and it's consistent whether it's a pandemic or it's a recession or it's anything or it's day to day. Don't watch the news.
It's just such a downer, man.
First of all, it's none of your business. So you're watching something absolutely none of your business, because they're telling you about everything that you have no part of or part of the solution to. So they're dumping, and it's all problematic, by the way. It's all bad news, problems, and they're dumping it on your shoulders, and you can't do anything with it because you have no part of it, but you emotionally are driven down by it, and it creates anxiety. So don't watch the news. Secondarily, the news is a program, just like any other program, sports, and it drives.
It sells advertising.
And it moves by ratings. So ABC, NBC, the 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock news, they're fighting for ratings. So if they can get you trapped, and what they do is they use fear to keep you glued because, oh my gosh, I don't. And so you continue. We know from the hurricanes, Steve, right? The hurricanes, they
exactly right. Fear.
Yeah. So that's why you watch. So the point is, if I showed up at my brother's house I surprised him a couple of weeks ago, you know, and because he's not coming out, like Bobby, he's staying in. His wife and him, you know, he's in his mid-60s. He's I'm in that percentile. If I get it, I'm gonna die. I have to stay home.
Yeah, it's scary, man.
I show up. I get into his backyard. He doesn't know I'm there. I pull up a chair, and I'm just watching TV through his door, and they don't know. And I'm just yelling, you know, obscenities, just screaming obscenities, and he keeps looking like out the window, like what's going on out there? And he can't see me. And then finally they recognize it's me. So they came out, and my sister-in-law, she's awesome, but she says to me, isn't this crazy? This is crazy. And I go, what's crazy? What? I said, what? I said, look at the environment we're standing in right now. Does this feel crazy or does this feel peaceful? She goes, well, I go, peaceful. I said, so is your life really crazy right now? I said, seriously. I said, stop. Is it everything has it made you? She goes, no. I said, then why'd you say it's crazy? Because
she was told to say it's because she's been trained to say it's crazy.
I'm not saying that the doctors and nurses and hospitals and those families that are going through corona that's crazy, but that's not your reality. So why are you talking about it as if it's real? And I think all of us have to do that, man. Stop creating a non-existing reality in your reality. Yeah, this is this is happening. But for most of us, large percentage of us, it's calm.
That could be the best thing I've heard in weeks, because somebody just posted on social media about something I did, and they go, wow, dude, for you, it looks like business as usual. And I go, why wouldn't it be? What am I stopping for?
Right.
You know, there's still, you know, my whole mantra is I want to meet people at scale. I want to listen. I want to learn. I'm devouring information at a pace I couldn't do before because I was so busy traveling, and, you know, my schedule of how to do what I did was so hard. It's not hard anymore. You know, do I wish that I could get out of these four walls? You know, do I wish that like every hour it doesn't feel like happy hour?
without any alcohol, unless you stockpile. Steve, you would know this better than anyone because you understand the value of the greatest commodity in the world, which is time, right? And you speak to entrepreneurs, you speak to business leaders, you speak to startups, and you know, they always say the same thing when we speak to them, right? We come into a situation, they go, you talk to an entrepreneur who's doing a startup out of their garage, but they're working a full-time job. And they said, if I didn't have the full-time job, I could put so much more effort into my startup. And if I had the time, but guess what? If I would have told 8 billion people 4 months ago, I'm going to say, let me explain what's going to happen. 95% of us will not be affected by this from a disease perspective. Okay. And you're about to get all the time in the world, and you're not going to work. You've got there's nothing, and the world is home with nothing but attention to give because they've got nothing to do. And you're going to have every waking minute to do something that you love to do and want to do. And you're going to have all that time. And all I see on Instagram, all I see on social media is bored at home, going crazy, blah, 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 this and that. You just were given what you've been crying about your whole life. You've been given time and accessibility to people who normally would not have time to pay attention to you, have nothing better to do than pay attention to you. Why aren't you on social media nonstop creating awareness? Why are you not on your phone? Because 95% of us aren't home going, oh my gosh, the world's, we're going, what am I going to do next? Somebody calls, yeah, hey, glad you called, but you can talk to any CEO in the world right now because they're done with the kids. They've already spent 2 weeks with the kids at home. The wife and them, they're living on different sides of the house now because so they're isolated. They'll talk to anybody that calls.
You're 1,000% correct. I've been telling people unprecedented access. I just before this was on the phone with my friend Don Silvestri, who's the president of Debt.com. And he was surprised. He's calling me. He goes, you know, I was so glad we met a couple of months ago. Your tools are working great. He goes, I'm actually getting people picking up the phone or accepting invites, or, you know, and he was surprised. And I go, listen, if you're in your house for 24 hours, there's a lot of time where people just want the distraction. They want the connection to, you know, like for me, this is so great that we get to do this. Like, I missed you. We haven't seen each other face to face in a long time.
Yeah.
But look at this. We're together. You know, we're getting some, we're feeding each other, and the tools are here to do it. Yet if you look at it and go, oh, I'm not going to, you know, it's really sad at some point that people just don't take advantage.
They're not redeeming the time. My message to humanity right now, and it's humanity because 8 billion people are home. So my message to humanity is, let me tell you something, if you think the feeling is bad now that you got nothing to do, I'm going to tell you the feeling that's going to stay with you probably for the rest of your life. And it's going to happen in 45 to 60 days when this is all over, is that you did nothing with that amazing dispensation of time that was allotted to you. You did nothing with that opportunity. And you'll never, and by the way, you'll probably never get that back again in your lifetime, because this was sort of a fire drill of how to handle this. I don't know if this will ever happen again. But the opportunity, I tell singer-songwriters, I tell actors, anybody, I said, if you're not doing Instagram lives on a regular basis, and singing, you know, showing your,
what an opportunity, right? Yeah.
So again, that's why they need we just got validation for our vocations, because you can give them what they say they needed to succeed that they didn't have, why they haven't succeeded, and they still won't do it. So they always need our voice in
Yes.
the area. So we validated our role in life. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter.
I want to talk about one more thing that's really important to me. You know how I am about family, and I just shared with you that I'm working with my boy. Talk to us a little bit about working with your son, the great stuff that him and your daughter are doing. Just share with my audience, because I know you're a proud dad. So
Yeah.
I watch it from afar and I go, dude, you must be the happiest guy on the planet.
I am, man, in so many ways. It's so rewarding. And, to watch my kids, both Noah and my daughter Taylor, just kind of excel at what they're doing. And by the way, it's not, it's grind for them. It's still work. It's hard. And, Noah's a little bit of a different story, right? But, he was the overnight success, right? It took 15 years for him to blow up. So, hard work, he was depressed at times, called me at 18, said, I'm going to quit acting, Dad. I just don't think it's working. And and yet, I encouraged him to stay to the grind, get up every day, do, and then it happens. And now, he's doing his thing. And the nice part is that I raised my kids, both Kelly and I raised our kids to be independent, and they are, man. Noah runs his career, man. He's got his team, really impressive group of people at CAA.
He's a cool kid, man. He's a really cool kid, man. You should be really proud. Yeah.
Thank you. I am. He's a good person, man. Kind. He's doing a show with Netflix now on Corona with a couple other guys on Instagram with them. And he's it means a lot to him. Every night he does an update from LA at 9 o'clock, but he's doing great. And very proud of him for what he's done. And he's still the same person that he was 5 years ago. So it hasn't changed him. And my daughter is amazing. She actually, no, I don't think can tie her shoes. But he's not, and he'll say the same thing, man. He'll say it. It's like, and they're very close. They live together, and their relationship is real tight as people. And she's just, dude, you love her when you'll meet her. Next time she's in town, you'll have to meet her. She is just, she graduated Pepperdine a couple of years ago and with a journalist degree. And she said, Dad, I don't want to be a journalist. I said, well, what do you want to do? She goes, I want to go in the industry. I want to produce. I want to write. I want to be in the creative. I said, then walk in that direction, man. And I said, and let me just give you one word: network. And I ain't helping you. And I'm not helping you. And I never really help my kids, man. I point them in a direction. I say, go. And if you need some advice, call me.
That's
and
awesome.
she has charged up a hill in Hollywood. I met with her boss. He's one of the greatest producers in the history of filmmaking. He did Independence Day, and he's done his own production company. And I went to his house a few months ago because they did Midway, the film, and she was part of that. And I went to the premiere party at his home, which, oh my gosh, I've been to a lot of beautiful homes, Steve. You have. I got to tell you, like, I thought it was, I was at the pool house and I thought it was the house. And I was like,
nice.
Never seen it.
It's always a good sign.
He said, oh, the house is about a mile that way on the estate. I was like, but he said to me, he pulled me aside. He said, I want to tell you something. Your daughter is unbelievable, and she's going to do great things in this industry. And I got to tell you, man, Ted Sarandos, from Netflix, when I was talking to him a couple of weeks ago at the premiere, he looked at me and what he said about my son, what Taylor's boss said. I walk away. That I got to tell you, for parents out there, you'll know, and those that aren't parents yet, that will be. It's to hear somebody who's successful tell you that your young kids and what they see and how their work ethic and what they're doing and how they think and the value they bring to the organization. And I walked away. It was like, dude, it was, I didn't even care what I accomplished in my own life. I just stopped and I went, I thought that's our greatest accomplishment.
Purpose. That's the purpose, so in closing, is there anything better than that feeling? It's, we're talking about something good. You've laid a couple of doozies. I love the term recess. We're on recess. When we were in school, we always couldn't wait for recess. It's here. Embrace it. Enjoy it. We talked about parents being a parent. You are a wealth of knowledge. I'm going to post the information so that people that watch this can get in contact with you and follow you. You put out great content. I'm thrilled and blessed that you're in my life, and I have so enjoyed this time. I can't wait till we get the time to do it in person again.
Well, thank you, man. It's all it's the same, bro. It's the same. Thank you.
Peace, brother. Be good.